Welcome to Deep Thought. Your mind is your greatest weapon. You know, I was inspired to do this when I saw a clip from a movie that came out a few years ago, Shot Caller, and Shot Caller, Shot Caller. Anyway, it was about this guy who I think he killed somebody in some accident, and it was an accident, but he still went to prison over it. And he's a white guy, and when he got to prison, he ended up joining this Aryan Brotherhood. And you know, they hardcore. But I remember a scene by a guy who, ironically, would later, recently, played the updated Lex Luthor. And he was real badass. You know, bald, but bearded, kind of more husky, kind of dangerous looking. But I remember he, you know, the guy who would go on to play Lex Luthor, I don't know his name. He, you know, he's the Aryan Brotherhood leader, and he was saying, I think his character's name was the Beast, and he was telling the main character, I didn't watch all of the movie, but the main character, you know, he was asking him, hey, is there any books you want to read? And he said a warrior's main weapon is his mind. And I thought about it because you're looking at this dangerous looking individual, but he's more concerned about reading, but just getting your mind right. And I was thinking about that. Your mind really is your greatest weapon. And maybe you could say weapon, but tool. Tool. I'm gonna leave the weapon in there. Get more views if I say weapon. But it's your greatest tool. It really is. Weapon, tool. Well, you can use it to deal with situations. How about that? Because ultimately, that's what this channel is about. It's about thinking. You know, that's why I don't do it as much. But remember, I used to end videos saying, think on this. Like, think about it. Think. Because I'm going to tell you what. Everything comes from the mind. Okay, like I'm known for talking about body game on my main channel, you know, working out and everything, but the desire, the discipline to work out comes from up here. Even just wanting to work out still comes from up here. How you go through life, it still comes from up here. We are not automatons. I mean, no matter how much people, yeah, you really do got a lot of zombies walking around here, though. Just people half asleep, sleepwalking, whatever. That's a whole other video. But at the end of the day, we still make a choice to do so. We make a choice. A lot of people just simply, they don't think, not because of any nefarious thing. And yet you have the theys putting all sorts of propaganda out trying to keep you asleep. But ultimately, it's your choice. It's your mind. And getting your mind together solves a lot of problems, can keep you out of trouble, can defend you against really the mental attacks. Now I said, well, maybe I call it a tool, but you know how I flow on here. Yeah, it is a weapon. It's a weapon against outside propaganda. Because you're going to, like, critical thinking is powerful. Like, you're going to question shit. Like, even with me, y'all notice I always say, don't take my word for anything I say. Go out and test it. Really think about it. And when I say think about it, I don't say just react automatically. Go try it out first. Because some people will respond negatively to the things I say, but they ain't really thinking. Because I'm going to just be real with y'all. I'm going to share something with y'all. Part of what I do on here, even on my other channels, is deprogramming. And I'm just scrambling. I'm hacking the matrix. Because I just want you to think about it. Sometimes I'll do stuff in such a way to go against whatever your programming is. Sometimes even question your archetypes. Notice how I connect. Everything is ultimately connected together. You know, it's scrambling your programming. It's making your mind question. It's like, well, hold up, this don't work. Like, I use myself for an example. A lot of people, if people see me normally, they couldn't see me talking like this. Or probably wouldn't imagine I have a single book in my home. So when they actually see it, and I've actually had this happen, I've actually people say this, it was like, wow, you didn't impress me initially as someone who would read a bunch of books or could even talk like this. Indeed, many people who've seen only my car videos, they'd probably be shocked. Is that the same person? In fact, I had a couple people say that. It's like, you know, you don't seem like the same person. But who I am is coming from my mind. And the things I do and the way I do things is not random. I wonder what I'm doing. Think on that. But your mind is your greatest weapon. You got to think about stuff. Your mind, because I'm going to tell you what, I don't care what somebody's doing, you guys think about it. Like I said, you always got something. Now it's gone beyond just the theys. You got content creators trying to get you to think a certain way, trying to mess with you. You know, think about it. That's why I say, go out and test what I'm saying first. That's all I'm asking. You don't believe me. Go out and apply it, see if it works, see what you see. Don't follow blindly. Use your mind. Use your mind, because then when you don't use your mind, when you don't use that weapon, you allow yourself to be influenced negatively. You allow yourself to become a zombie. You following along. In fact, you even getting upset emotionally. As best as possible, you got to think on everything. You know, okay, like a couple of days ago, I did that show. I did the show on reality shows, talking about how they based on archetypes. And that's because I was watching something in particular on the show, and I ain't gonna lie, I got upset. My guards went down. My guards went down, and I was like, wait a minute, why am I upset over this? All of a sudden, I sat back and said, hold up. If I normally stay cool, but I'm getting upset over something I'm seeing, who else is getting upset over? And what is that doing? What's the image promoted? You know? What's the image promoted? Oh, and I saw that, let's just say this, I already had a plan to combat what I just saw. I already have it. And plans work better when I don't tell you people what it is. But they do work. So anyway, you gotta have your mind, you gotta get your mind right. When you, whether it's on this channel, whether it's looking at always think, always be critical thinking. Always say, okay, what's going on with that? Even with my stuff, always question it. Always keep your mind sharp. Don't just follow blindly. Even with my stuff, I want you to think about it. Think on it. Ask yourself, does this apply to you? Does it make sense? If it don't make sense to you, okay, find out why it don't make sense. Don't just go with the flow with it. Dig deeper. Dig deeper. Ask yourself, okay, it don't make sense. How come it don't? Because it could be scrambling your programming. Let me hit you on some deep stuff with that. It could scramble your programming to the point your programming trying to recorrect itself. So sometimes even questioning something, it might not be a bad thing. Even if it goes against your programming or what you think, it might need to. So you got to then ask yourself, okay, why did I get programmed to begin with? And then you start going deep within yourself. But then all of it is your mind. Get your mind right. It's your greatest weapon. It's your greatest tool. It's your greatest power. All right? So that's all I have for now. I'll get back with y'all on Sunday, all right? Peace and many blessings.